Have you ever felt stuck in your job? Like you're grinding through the day, wondering if this is really what God has for you? Today, we're going to be talking about transforming your work from just a paycheck into a platform for purpose. Your career isn't just about making a living. It's about making an impact. So let's dive into what it looks like to align your work with God's calling.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to the New Path, New You. My name is Ron Cool, and thank you so much for joining us. And this is our final episode in Built for Connections, a relationship from a man's point of view series. We're exploring the connection between faith and career today. And what we've been talking about over the last few weeks is building a foundation with God, leading with love in marriage, and being an intentional father. So if you missed any of those episodes, I'd encourage you to head back to that because it lines up with our priorities of keeping God first, then our marriage, then our family, then career. Now let's talk about how to carry those same intentionality into your work life. So our key verse for today is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Now, this has been something that I've struggled with in the past. I am a recovering people pleaser, and if you listen to this show for any particular amount of time, you probably already know that. But if you don't, welcome. My name is Ron Cool, and I am a recovering people pleaser. When I say recovering, I'm still working at it. I have not got over that, and I have to always bring my fears and people-pleasing tendencies to God and just ask Him for help almost daily. So let's talk about work as worship for a second. And let's reframe your perspective a little bit. Your work is an act of worship, whether you're leading a team, working construction, or just running a business. Every task is an opportunity to glorify God. Because if you remember Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. So then, if you look at it and reframe it in that perspective, we would want to do it with excellence and integrity. So when we work with excellence, we reflect Christ. Being honest and hardworking and kind in the workplace is a testimony in itself, frankly. Think of Joseph in Egypt. He honored God in every position he was in, from slave to ruler, and God used his work to change a nation. So here's something to think about. How would your attitude change if you saw your job as a ministry? I was talking to someone the other day who just got his firefighter license, just passed the exam. I don't know what you call it, but he just passed that, and he was so excited. And he was talking about how that role is like ministry for him, and he's able to reach guys in a different way to point them to Christ. So what if whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is, I don't care if you're working in a restaurant, how would your attitude change if you saw your job as a ministry? I think that's interesting. For me, work can kind of be fun for me. And I am also a recovering workaholic. And when I say recovering, I'm still working at it. I have not figured it out. So if you figured it out, hit me up on Instagram and say, I figured it out. Here's the cheat code. But it's important to balance work with your family. And the best way to do this is by setting boundaries. Success at work means nothing if it costs you your family. Now I'm going to say that again, because I think someone needs to hear that, because I wish someone would have told me that. Success at work means nothing if it costs you your family. So create non-negotiable boundaries for your family time and your Sabbath rest. And then prioritize your presence. When you're home, be home. Put the phone away, engage with your spouse and kids, and guard that sacred time. I know for me, I used to look at it like if I was working, I was missing my family. And I was like, man, I wish I could be doing this. I wish I could do this. So I wasn't really present at work. And then when I got home, since I wasn't present at work, I wasn't really present with my family because I was worrying about the things I didn't finish at work and all the things I needed to do at work. So I was really present with nobody. And my focus was the opposite. Now, it would have been easy just for me to leave work and spend time with my family when I wanted to, or the opposite, the other way around. However, if you would just focus on what's in front of you at all times. So if you're at work, focus at work. If you're at home, focus on being at home and prioritize your presence. So Jesus often withdrew to be with the Father, even in his busiest seasons. If he needed rest and connection, so do we. So here's a practical step. Schedule one night a week, put it on your calendar as a no work, all family evening. I do this on Friday evenings. We have family movie night. We've been doing this for many, many years. The kids look forward to it. And the only thing that we do is we'll make some homemade pizza. We'll sit in front of the TV and everyone gets a turn each week picking out a movie to watch. Sometimes we'll play games, but that is our intentional one night a week where we don't have gymnastics, where we don't have Awana, where we don't have anything else, and it's protected. And it's our family movie night. So I suggest you put it on the calendar. It's on my calendar because if it's important, I calendar it. And then that way, I know I have something to do. And lastly, let's talk about discovering your calling. I was in my men's group this last week, and we're encouraging all the guys to just pray for what God is calling you to do. So I'm going to have you guys have prayerful discernment and ask God to reveal his purpose for your career or your life. Sometimes the job you have is preparation for what is next. And it's really easy to always look backwards. It's not our job to look forward. That is God's job. Our job is to be in the moment and do everything that God is calling you to do in the moment, because there's a reason you're in the moment you're in right now. And then you want to start using your gifts. God has equipped us with talents, not just for church, but for the marketplace. Your leadership, your creativity, or problem-solving skills in kingdom tools. Or problem-solving skills are kingdom tools. Paul was a tent maker, but his true calling was spreading the gospel. His career funded his ministry and connected him to people he wouldn't have otherwise met. So if you're able to, maybe write this down or open up your notes app on your phone and write down 3 ways your current job could be a platform for ministry. And I'm sure there's going to be more than 3. Find 3. And this week, take one step towards aligning your career with your God-given purpose. Maybe that's mentoring a coworker, starting a Bible study at lunch, or simply bringing a Christ-like attitude into your office. Small acts of faithfulness open the door to bigger opportunities. So that is a wrap on the relationships from a man's point of view, built for connection series. We've covered your connection with God, your spouse, your kids, and now your career. I hope you're feeling equipped and challenged to pursue these relationships with intentionality. But we're not stopping here. Next month, we're kicking off a leadership series, which I'm so excited about. We're going to be reshaping how you view leadership And I know you don't want to miss this. I'm going to be giving you some practical ways, some things that you could do daily to help in your leadership growth. And I'd love to connect with you. Head over to newpathnewyou.com for any resources. We have a great community started over there, and to catch up on past episodes. Let's keep walking on this path for a new you together. See you next time.